And we're going to talk about transitioning to college among Latina and Latino students, effects of participation or participating in cultural outreach programs.
Thank you.
And I'm going to give you the 5-minute and the 2-minute warning.
Okay, sounds good. Good afternoon, my name is Alexandria, and I'm an undergraduate student researcher here at UCI. I will be discussing with you today my senior thesis. It's a study in progress about the transition to college for Latino students and the potential effects of this transition when participating in a cultural outreach program. Today I'll be discussing my background information and past research pertinent to my topic, as well as my objectives, why it's important to study the transition to college for Latino students, my methods, how I go about my research, and what I expect to find. Latinos are the fastest growing ethnic group in the nation. The 2000 census shows that Latinos represented 13% of the U.S. population. This percentage increased to 15.4% in 2008 and is estimated to reach 20% in the year 2020. The percentage of Latinos living in California is close to 37%, and here at UCI, 13% of the undergraduate population is Latino. While the number of Latinos in the United States is growing, the number of Latinos earning a college education is dramatically low. In fact, Latinos have the lowest educational attainment of any major racial or ethnic group in the United States. What is illustrated here is the educational pipeline for Latino students. It begins with 100 Latino students who start at the elementary level and demonstrates the attrition throughout the educational milestones. What stands out to me when looking at this pipeline is the gap between students who enroll in college and those who actually come out with a degree. So what determines where Latinos end up in the pipeline? Research has studied many constraints in education, such as college preparation from low-performing schools, financial resources, parental level of education, and the campus environment. Studies gauge that the experience of minority students at the university find that students often feel out of place for various reasons, which include various racial and ethnic differences which are magnified at the institution, prejudice that is experienced, like being the pressure to be the spokesperson for Latinos or students of color, for all people of color, and this can lead to feelings of isolation and alienation. In addition, students who seek out mentors or role models to help them guide through the institution rarely have opportunities to interact with faculty of color in general and Latino faculty in particular. The gap demonstrated in the pipeline may be due to Latino students feeling less guidance from people they trust at the university and getting lost in the shuffle when left to figure out the system on their own. So studies show that a sense of social support is a great predictor of success in navigating life transitions, such as the transition to college. Recent research shows that a sense of social support for people with similar backgrounds influences coping responses and resilience. Latinos overcome institutional barriers by drawing on various cultural values and abilities nurtured in the Latino community. They maintain high aspirations, work to develop networks with people and resources, and share their experiences of maneuvering through institutional barriers. Latinos also perform better academically when they have psychological and family resources that they can rely on. This research suggests that there should be an effort to increase the social support experienced by underrepresented students, and to do this in a culturally relevant way, that may prove to be beneficial. In an attempt to gauge how we can increase the sense of social support for Latino students at the university, I am focusing on cultural outreach programs and exploring their effects on social support. I hope to answer whether cultural outreach programs influence how well Latino students navigate their transition to college and adjust to the environment. In my study, the sample I wanted to target were Latinos in their first or second year at UCI, whether incoming freshmen or transfer students. The reason I chose this population is because they would be most insightful to their recent transition to the university. Participants who are being recruited to participate in the study are students who were previously invited to attend Raza Day, a cultural outreach program at UCI. Raza Day is a one-day geared event towards Chicano and Latino students who have been admitted to UCI for the following fall. Raza Day is an orientation hosted by Mecha, a student-run Latino organization on campus. And the purpose of the event is to educate incoming students and parents about the resources on campus, the academic and student life, and other aspects of UCI. The number of students who attended Raza Day and RSVP to attend for the last 2 years is 138. Therefore, I have 138 potential participants. I created a survey that would allow me to get a better sense of how students are experiencing the campus in their transition and adjustment to UCI. The survey has 38 items and it takes about 20 to 30 minutes to complete. The participant's identity is not linked to their answers, and they are given a chance to be compensated for their participation in the form of a $5 gift card. And at the end of the study, I will be conducting a raffle where I will give away an iPod Nano and 5 pairs of movie tickets. Data collection began this spring quarter and from May and will end in June, and the current completion of surveys are 11. Participants are asked to complete a series of measures to determine different aspects of their university experience. These measures include their demographic information, their level of acculturation, experience of cultural congruity, which is a measure of how they relate to the university and how they feel they fit in, their postgraduate aspirations, their sense of social support, the university environment, which is whether they experience the university to be a welcoming place, and whether they perceive it important to have contact with other students of their same ethnic or cultural group at the university. Perceived importance of having contact with students of their same ethnic or cultural group has not been measured in the past. It is a measure that I developed with my faculty mentor. In addition to the questions displayed on the screen, I followed up with an open-ended question designed to let participants elaborate on why they answered the questions the way they did. I expect to find a connection between institutionalized cultural support, such as outreach programs, and the overall well-being of Latino students in college as a predictor of academic success. I hypothesize that cultural outreach programs will lessen the sense of a hostile and alienating campus by increasing culturally relevant social support. I expect to find that cultural outreach programs will have positive effects for the participants. I expect to find that participating in Raza Day will correlate to having a better understanding of campus resources, higher academic performance, and increased involvement in cultural clubs and organizations, which will ultimately lead to a higher sense of social support and well-being. I also hypothesize that students who participate in cultural outreach programs and later become involved in on-campus clubs or organizations will have stronger positive effects of these things mentioned. The following is an example response to one of the open-ended questions in my survey. The participant states, I believe that it is important to be able to connect with people from my same ethnic or cultural background, because since we are part of a minority group, it is important that we are there for each other and to be able to support each other through our struggles. This demonstrates that the participant feels that relationships with students they identify with increase their sense of social support. Another participant states that I feel it is important to connect with others from similar backgrounds as mine because they understand the problems I am going through and have had similar experiences as mine. This is especially important in UCI, where there is little ethnic diversity. This demonstrates that for this participant, culturally relevant support validates their experiences. The findings of the study will allow us to better understand how to aid Latino students' perception of social support and cultural fit within the campus climate, in order to help them optimize their academic achievement, well-being, and retention rates. This will also allow us to gauge the relevance of emphasizing culture in outreach efforts. Are there any questions?
We have plenty of time for questions.
Okay.